They make quite a contrast, and the sentences they used were in sharp contrast too. Listen once more.
私は今日山へ行きます。
私は先週山へ行きました。
私は今日山へ行きます。
私は先週山へ行きました。
What was different about what they said? First of all, one utterance contained the word kyo, meaning today, and the other, the word senshu, which means last week. Was anything else different? That's right. Ikimasu and ikimashita are different, aren't they? In telling where she was going, Sugihara-san used ikimasu, but to tell where he had been the week before, Kaiho-san used ikimashita. Let's look a little more carefully at the difference between the two. It is the endings, masu and mashita, that are different. This masu is the same one that we reviewed at the beginning of today's lesson, masu, used to tell what one is going to do. But mashita is used to talk about something that has happened in the past. Let's hunt for some uses of mashita in today's skit. Listen carefully and see if you can catch some spots where it appears.
日光へはいつ行ったんですか？
先週の土曜日です。
電車で？
いいえ、車で行きました。
Asked by Mrs. Kato if he went to Nikko by train, Yang answered this way.
いいえ、車で行きました。いいえ、車で行きました。
This means, no, I went by car. And of course, you noticed that mashita is used here, didn't you? Let's go on to the next one.
ヤンさん、東照宮は？
ええ、もちろん行きました。
Mr. Kato asked Yan, did you go to the famous shrine Toshogu? What did Yan answer?
ええ、もちろん行きました。ええ、もちろん行きました。
Mochiron means of course. He wouldn't have wanted to miss such a famous shrine, so of course he went. Mashita appeared here too, didn't it? Then, almost as if to prove that he really went, he showed them a picture of Toshogu. Midori was very surprised to find that Yang knew, although she and her mother didn't, that Toshogu was built at the beginning of the 17th century. Seeing her surprise, Yan said this to Midori.
前に本で読みました。前に本で読みました。前に本で読みました。
Here, mashita appeared in the verb yomimashita. It means I read, and honde means in a book. And what did he read? That Toshogu was built at the beginning of the 17th century. And when did he read it? Before. Mae ni means before. Mashita appeared elsewhere too. One of the famous spots at Nikko is the Kengon Falls. When Taro asked him if he saw the falls, this is what Yang answered.
ヤンさん、華厳の滝は？ええ、見ました。ええ、見ました。ええ、見ました。
This means, yes, I saw them. Here again, we find the form mashita used, don't we? Well, we've certainly seen a lot of examples of verbs with the ending mashita. Remember that this form is used to talk about the past. Yes, we saw a lot of examples, but did you notice this? Yan didn't use watashi wa in a single one of them. Of course, the fact that he was the one who went was understood, so he could safely omit I. But you should also make a note of the fact that repetition of watashi wa, watashi wa, watashi wa in Japanese sounds very egotistical. Now, let's practice changing the masu forms we learned last time into their respective past forms with mashita.
起きます。起きます。
This means get up, doesn't it? All right, change it so that it means got up.
起きました。起きました。
Okay, this time the verb meaning eat.
食べます。食べます。
Change it to the past tense.
食べました。食べました。
And finally, the verb meaning drink.
飲みます。飲みます。
Change it to the form meaning drank.
飲みました。飲みました。
How did you do? Were you able to change all those verbs to their mashita forms? Now, let's look at a little scene in which mashita is used. Uh-oh, what's going on here? It seems they had a burglar the night before. Yube means last night.
なるほど。夕べ入ったのか。この鍵は？
はい、ここにあります。
この鍵はいつも誰が閉めますか？
私が閉めます。
夕べも？
はい、私が閉めました。
閉めた。確かに？
はい、閉めました。
鍵は閉めたと。この窓は？
はい、いつも私が閉めます。
夕べも？
はい、私が閉めました。
確かに？
はい、閉めました。
窓も閉めたと。このコーヒーは？
私が飲みました。
夕べ？
ええ。
奥さんが飲んだ。このバナナは？
私が食べました。
ご主人が食べたと。で、夕べは何時に寝ましたか？
私は12時に寝ました。
私は1時に寝ました。
ご主人は12時、奥さんは1時に寝た。なるほど。
犯人は分かりましたか？
いいえ、わかりません。
At this rate, I'm afraid the case may never be solved. But anyway, they certainly used mashita a lot in talking about what they did the night before. Did you catch it each time it was used? The detective asked, "Who locked this?" Literally, "Who closed this?" And this is what Kaiho-san answered.
私が閉めました。
He didn't use watashi wa, but watashi ga. Watashi ga shimemashita. The focus here is on who, and ga is used to mark watashi clearly as the answer. In responding to the detective's questions, the couple kept replying with verbs ending in mashita. This is a suitably polite form, and it is the one usually used in such formal, official exchanges. But our hapless detective was muttering something completely different to himself as he took notes. What was he saying?
鍵、ご主人が閉めた。窓、奥さんが閉めた。コーヒー、奥さんが飲んだ。バナナ、ご主人が食べた。ご主人、12時に寝た。奥さん、1時に寝た。
As he took notes, he muttered shimeta to himself instead of shimemashita, nonda instead of nomimashita, and so on, using a simpler form. Actually, shimemashita may be called the polite past form and shimeta the plain past form of the verb for close. This shimeta and the plain past form of other words are used as main verbs at the end of a sentence only when one is taking notes, or talking to oneself, or talking to people that one is perfectly at home with. But when it is combined with something else, the plain past is a very handy form with many uses. Let's take a look at the plain past